Now, talking with me on discussing all of these with me in today's edition is Senator Uregu, a security analyst. Thank you for joining us. You're very much welcome. Okay, but before we go into the topic of discussion, let's deal with some of our headlines. Now, the Nigerian armed forces, they are really trying their best to restore peace in a troubled region of the country, checking out from some of the headlines we had actually gone through, and with another landmark of victory. Now, what does this represent for the men of the armed forces and also for Nigerians in general?
What it represents is that the military, they are doing, trying, to do their work. In fact, doing beyond their mandate, because the major mandate of the military is to protect the territorial integrity of the country. So they are not really caught out for policing operation.
Okay.
But because of the nature of conflict, the 21st century conflict, you've seen military performing, though they can play supportive role, but not leading role. But you've seen them now playing leading role.
They seem to be doing very well, even taking up the leading role.
That's what I'm saying, in policing operation. And they are doing it in almost all the 36 states of the Federation, contributing in one way or the other, both even in terms of life and other ways, because you've seen people, soldiers, officers paying the utmost sacrifice in the course of their duty.
Okay, again, the menace of trafficking, we read a headline about when Ben Ayade was talking about the unemployment leading to people doing the trafficking business. Now, in fighting against the menace of trafficking that is still happening, what should we do at least to reduce it to the barest of minimum? Not, maybe we cannot completely wipe it out, but at least what can we do to reduce it?
What we can do is it's tough, because we already admitted that we cannot stop it, but we should try to reduce it, is to encourage good governance and development, because sometimes most thing that causes it is poverty, underdevelopment. People tend to move from where they are not, they are economical disadvantage and bamboozled with the story of, greener pastures. That's why even within domestic trafficking and international trafficking is still the same story. People come from town and maybe say, I'm taking your daughter to Lagos, to Abuja, I'm going to put her in school or do this, and it turned out to be forced, and it's something else. The same thing, you had a lot of Nigerians who are stranded in Lebanon, in United Arab Emirates.
Trying to find greener pasture outside.
Yes, so then is for Nigeria to begin to look inwards, and each government, not only federal government, state government, so that citizens can be actually be well employed. It's unemployment and poverty that is the number one. Then number two, we should also try and check our moral virtue. People are beginning to, life is becoming too materialistic that people can go to an extent. Even sometimes, some parents are aware that they are pushing their child for trafficking, but they want to take the risk. Even those being trafficked, sometimes they'll be aware that they are being trafficked, even though they may not know the magnitude, the danger of the suffering. They may be subjected along the way, but they still take the dive. Then issue of also intelligence. Everything these days, even in asymmetric warfare, everything is intelligence. So to be able to information, citizens acting, they say security is everybody's business. The same thing. We can stop trafficking. When people can begin to volunteer information. I know this person is sending her daughter to, or this person come to pick her daughter to. Then we can track it and share intelligence with the relevant agencies, NAPTIP, other security agencies.
Now, you talked about poverty and unemployment. Some of the things that the Nigerian government, both from the state level down to the federal government level, they have been doing so well in some poverty alleviation scheme for the people. Do you think that people are not getting enough information about this? You know, they are not really tapping into it in order for us to reduce this crime rate in the society.
Poverty alleviation scheme that is being done is just tokenistic in nature, and I don't think it can ever solve. It should be a permanent feature, but it should be a kind of support to the real thing. Because what are the poverty alleviation schemes like this cash 5,000 cash transfer to the poorest of the poor? They trade that money, they share, they give to people to do business. This empower thing, which other ones? Then feed the school children, which is still controversial because people are still complaining that it's not done in a very transparent manner.
Okay.
But people are not sure that the right people are getting it. But even at that, for how long? What people need actually is to create a enabling environment where industry can thrive, businesses can survive, so that that business can employ a lot of people. But in a situation where businesses cannot thrive, how many startups survive in the next 2 years? How many people are losing their jobs? And those who lose their job, they have so many dependents, 1, 2, 3, 4. So feeding all those is not going to solve. It can be a support, but there are other policies you can do to create job, create wealth, create employment, and then the others who miss out, you can now use other palliative too.
All right, away from that, now the unending crisis in Kaduna seems to be having solution, you know, with the arrest of bandits. Thank goodness, and gracefully, the Nigerian armed forces have been working very well to see to the end of the armed bandits and other kidnappers. Now, how should the people help the security agents to nip all of these atrocities in the bud?
Like I said, our security agents are trying, but like the president noted, their best is not enough. Their best not being enough, is it that is the fault of the military itself solely? No. It's because of the system itself. It's not everything that can be solved with guns and bullets. Yes, it's needed, to enforce. But where are other aspects of it? The political will, the socio-political aspect of it. Because most time we try to send guns and bullets to go and solve problems that negotiation, dialogue, understanding each other's problem, and reaching a middle ground can solve. So, like you say, what can people do? People can help by engaging themselves, building peace architecture, negotiating. Okay, let's say Southern Kaduna, who are the warring parties? You have a state governor, you have political office holder who can actually broker peace, who can bring the warring parties to sit down to discuss what are the issues. Tell us what is your grievances. Tell us what your grievances. You reach, because if people don't fight, do you need military to go? Do you need the police to go? No. But if everybody is fighting, even if you like, bring more than half of the population of Nigeria being the military or the police, send them everywhere, you find out that those military and police are still part of the society. When everybody is fighting, they're also fighting. They cannot solve any problem. So it's a holistic thing. Then volunteering information to the security agents is left for the citizen. If people are kidnappers, they are murderers, they are killers, you see that they are harboring them. So you volunteer information. Do
you think Nigerians will be willing to volunteer?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying what is ideal. Okay. I'm not saying what is real. Okay. We can say what is ideal for people to listen and take the gospel, saying that this is how it's supposed to be. Like, for example, we used to cite the foreign, like Germany, US, UK, Russia, all these things, Israel, Are they spirit? No. What happened? The people are their source of intelligence. For example, immediately you land in Germany today, people are taking note that somebody new is in their environment. They are watching your movement. Before you know it, someone will call their immigration. I saw this person, come and check if he's a legal and illegal immigrant. You know, if you do something funny, you won't know when the police. It's not that the police will from where they are and become a spirit and know what you are doing in your bedroom. Somebody is listening. If your music is loud, somebody is there reporting you. This person is constituting nuisance in this environment. It's the same thing. So there need to be ownership of our counter-insurgency operation, of our war against insecurity. I've said 3 things now. Having active police and military, which I say yes is needed, is not enough. I said the political will. We need peace builders. We need political office holders, those who have elected to take the lead. Then we need people, to volunteer information.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Akinwumi, we took a headline story about Akinwumi Adesina being re-elected as the African Development Bank Group president. How would you rate his performance?
I think his performance, he has done a lot, because I remember during the controversial memo that the U.S. rep wrote that there was an allegation and the board investigator and exonerated him, and the U.S. rep felt that is not fair and was actually against him, and people came and reeled out statistics of his achievement or what he has done. His work spoke for him. He did a lot, especially doling out funds for a lot of African countries to really fight COVID-19. And war against COVID-19 in the African continent was a huge success that even the rest of the world are still shocked till today.
Okay,
so he did well in his, so he deserved this, and that's why he got 100% endorsement.
All right. Now, what is the possibility of food security? Because when you talk about security, security spans through the law.
Yes.
Like when you talk about the complete life cycle of humans. Now, when you talk about food security, what is the possibility of food security in post-COVID-19 for Africans? Him being the president.
Okay, that's true. Because if there's one thing that would be a huge challenge, is this issue of food security.
Yes.
That's already danger here and there, even before the COVID-19, because already there's drought issue in some part of Horn of Africa, that's Ethiopia, Somalia, and so on. Then you have the low-cost swamp, the same area, the Kenya, Tanzania, Djibouti, that Horn of Africa, down to East Africa, down to Sudan, and so, Then there is this herders-farmers conflict in the West Africa region that have displaced a lot of farmers. I'm just talking about before the COVID-19, and it's still going on right now. Then there's the issue of desertification. Desert encroachment from the Sahel region down North Africa, Sahel region, down to northern side of Nigeria. Now the COVID-19 came and disrupted a lot of things, even though farmers or farm produce is part of the essential services that was allowed to operate, but still, it affected productivity in one way or the other. So he will be focusing, I'm sure he did, maybe focusing on this, how to fund this sector, because being a former Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria, which he did well, I'm sure this is one of the areas he will also focus. And
you're confident in his appointment, reappointment. All right, let's head on to the reaction. What's the reaction on the electricity tariff and the fuel price increase?
My reaction, just like most of Nigeria, is outrage, disappointment, anger. Government deserve a lot of knocks, because